Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Naveen, and today we will be looking at how to build a strategy and how to prioritize quant questions when it comes to CAT. So this is very helpful for students who are going to appear for CAT 2024 and for CAT 2023 aspirants also. If you have not yet come up with a strategy to tackle quant section, I believe this particular session will help you understand how to start with it. But for 2024 aspirants, this is going to be very helpful because they will start this strategy from the very beginning. Yeah, hi Juhi. So let's discuss about 2024 expected pattern. So in VARC, you will see a total of 19 to 21 questions of MCQ types and 3 to 5 questions of non-MCQs, which are also called as theta. Type in the answer types, so that you have a total of 24 to 26 questions. Similarly, in LRDI, you will find 15 to 18 questions of MCQ types, 5 to 6 theta based, overall 20 to 24 questions. In QA, you will see around 16 to 18 questions of QA, 6 to 8 questions of theta type, overall 22 to 26 questions of QA. Right? Total 50 to 57 MCQ questions, 14 to 19 non-MCQs, and 66 to 76 total questions. So the number of questions may range from 66 to 76 and the duration may range from 40 to 60 minutes per section. So QA का जो time होगा वो 40 minutes का होगा या फिर 60 minutes का होगा. Okay. Marking scheme will remain same as it has been for the past decade for CAT. 3 marks awarded for every correctly answered question, -1 for wrong, and 0 for theta questions if you make any mistake there. And if you don't attempt any question, you are not awarded any mark. No mark is deducted. If I talk about the score versus percentile, so the overall score that you need is a 95 percentile, 95 marks or above to, 95 percentile and above, you need a score of 70 के आसपास. If I look at the last 3 years data, if you score around 100, okay, 90s may, if there are 66 questions and if there are 76 questions, 102 marks. Okay? So around half of the marks will fetch you a 99 percentile. Around half. जैसे CAT 2022 जो था, that was 198 marks का. Half of 198 is 99. 99 marks half pay, you will get a 99 percentile. 2021 में भी 99 marks ले लो आप, 97 को 98 99 मान लो, you will be getting a 99 percentile. CAT 2020, when there were total of 76 questions, total marks was 228. उसका भी half 99 के आसपास ही है. So 102 is close to 99, right? So 50% of the total marks will fetch you a 99 percentile. इतना ही करना है, आधे नंबर लेकर आना है. Okay? If I talk about QA, then what were the number of questions in the last 3-4 years CAT, and topic wise how many questions were there? So if I look at CAT 2022, there were overall 22 questions. CAT 2021, 22 questions. CAT 2020, 26 questions. CAT 2019, 34 questions. So number of questions has declined, and I'm right now only looking at QA. If I talk about topic wise, arithmetic, algebra, geometry and mensuration, number system, and modern maths. These are 5 topics which become the part of the syllabus of CAT, quant section ka. So in arithmetic, there were 8 to 9 questions. Why 8 to 9? Because CAT 2022 was not a single exam. It was an exam that was across 3 slots. Morning, afternoon or evening. 3 बार exam होता है, but you can only write 1 exam, right? I hope you guys are aware of that. So in one of these slots, minimum questions was 8. In the other slot, there were 9 questions. In algebra, there were 4 to 9 questions. So there was one slot which had very less number of algebra questions. There was another slot which had high number of algebra questions. Geometry and mensuration had been around the 3 to 4 questions ka range. Number system 1 to 3, and modern maths, permutation and combination, probability, set theory. In सबके 0 to 3 questions थे. So there was one set which had 3 questions. So वो set difficult हो गया, right? People are not comfortable with this particular topic, and a set which had none of the questions from this topic, people would have enjoyed that particular slot, right? So same was for CAT 2021. आपको range इसलिए दिख रहा है because there were 3 slots in that particular exam. So if you look at only the first 2 topics, which are arithmetic and algebra, you will realize that you are going to have around 15 to 16 questions just from these 2 topics out of 22. मतलब more than नहीं बोल सकते, around 2/3 of total number of questions केवल 2 topics है. So you can see that the weightage of this is huge. तो अगर मैंने केवल 15 कर लिया, 15 questions out of 22, and if I happen to get, let's say 40 marks, तो मेरे को 99.9 percentile लाने में से कोई नहीं रोक सकता in quant, not overall of course, because we are only targeting QA today. So how to get there, how to score 15 to 16 questions, how to attempt those many, how to make sure that they are more accurate. So I'll give you a brief idea about it. Initially it's going to be theoretical, then I will show you how to do that. So the theoretical part is you are going to go across the QA section in 3 rounds. Round number 1, then round number 2, and then finally round number 3. Round number 1 should be around, as in it should be less than 10 minutes ka round. Round number 2 should be less than 20 minutes ka round. And round number 3 should be the remaining minutes ka round. मतलब first round आप 10 minutes के अंडर complete करोगे. Second round you are going to complete in the next 20 minutes. Third round the remaining 10 minutes or so. What you are going to do in one of these rounds, in each of these rounds. In round 1, you are only going to solve questions which are sitters. Sitters कौन से questions हैं? Questions that you can solve without using pen. बस. If you have to use pen, it's not a sitter. You do this until the end of the section. Then you restart. You go to the first question again of the quant section. अब आप round 2 करोगे. In round 2, you will be doing questions that require either just a formula or a bit of calculation. बस जब इतना करना होगा तो आप round 2 में you are going to attempt those questions. If you only go through first round and second round questions, which will not fetch you more than half an hour out of 45 minutes of out of 40 minutes of section, you will realize that you have already attempted 10 to 12 questions यहीं पर. इतने हो चुके होंगे. And the best part would be most of the questions are going to be correct. They are going to be accurate. आपकी accuracy high होगी initial 10 to 12 में. Then in the remaining 10 minutes or so, you have to go through those questions which you are familiar with. Okay. Which are doable within the time limit. If you come across a question, let's say of TSD, which you know how to solve, but it's lengthy. You'll have to write equations, you'll have to draw the pattern or whatever the scenario it is, and then you have to solve it, which will take you 4-5 minutes. तो नहीं करना है, ठीक है? 5 मिनट बहुत होते हैं. Because you know that you will take around 5 minutes, but once you start solving and you realize after 3-4 minutes कि नहीं हो रहा, तो पूरा वो 3-4 minutes waste होता है. So any question that you can you think that you can solve within 2.5-3 minutes, question that you are supposed to read it, आप उनको करोगे. ये round 3 में होगा. इसमें से you need to do 3 to 4 questions. That's it. इससे ज़्यादा नहीं करना. So 3 to 4 questions in 10 to 12 minutes is around 2.5 to 3 minutes per question, right? Now, how do you decide if a question is a sitter one? 3 things that will help you. Pehla, of course, practice. You may have gone through a lot of questions of every topic. 500-600 question हर topic के करे होंगे, and you know that what language and what type of questions are easier to solve, what are the approaches, what are the shortcuts, formula, tricks, ये आपको पता होता है. So we will be using experience. Second thing that we'll be using is going to be the options. If the options are simple numbers, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, और ये PNC का question है, तो मैं formula नहीं जानता. I'm not going to use any formula. I will try to make all the cases possible. 3, 4, 5, 6 अगर option है तो worst case में कितने cases बनेंगे मेरे? 6 cases. मैं manually brute force से I am going to make it. But if my options are 300, 400, 500, It means I cannot make those many cases. I cannot write down those many answers, which means it requires a formula or a pattern of some kind. If I have done that question, तो मैं आगे बढ़ूंगा, नहीं तो नहीं. ठीक है. So second चीज हम ये यूज करने वाले, पहला तो है experience, the questions that we are familiar with, हमने पहले करा हुआ है. Second, बिना पेन के of course. Second ones where we know कि this is something that will result in a particular trick or a pattern. ठीक है. जो third thing है, जो कि sorry, not second thing is the options, how easy or how difficult they are. And the third thing that will help us decide whether a question is a sitter or not, which sometimes backfires, is the length of the question. Suppose there is a question which only 1 or 2 lines. I will assume it's a sitter and I will read it. फिर decide करूंगा कि होगा कि नहीं. But if there is a question which is 5 line or 5 sentences long, बड़ा सा दिख रहा है, paragraph जैसा, I will not even read it. I will assume it's not a sitter. So वो हो, शायद वो sitter हो. That's what I said. It sometimes backfires. It's a gamble. But I'm not going to read it, because if I read it and then I realize कि भैया ये sitter नहीं है, तो मेरा पढ़ने का time भी गया. I will not remember it, because once I come back to that question later on, I will anyways again read it. So I'm wasting time reading things that I will not remember in the next few minutes. Also, when a question is lengthy, as in there is a lot of statements, it means it will give you a lot of info. बहुत सारे numbers होंगे, बहुत सारा pattern चल रहा होगा, बहुत कुछ हो रहा होगा. That means you will have to use pen in order to write it down so that you can remember it, pick out the important numbers or fractions or percent, जो कुछ भी है question में. That depends on the question's language, and then put it there. तो वो लिखने में भी time waste होता है. ठीक है. So 3 things that will help us decide if it's a sitter or not. The first is of course so there is one thing which is called options. The second one is length of the question, and the first one is questions that we are familiar with, familiarity, और without pen का use करने वाला. ठीक है. These 3 things will decide अपन sitters पे जा रहे हैं कि नहीं. Anything that is not this or one of the 3 things is missing, so we will be like ये sitter नहीं है. Okay. Question number 1. Huge. पढ़ा भी नहीं. I'll come back to this. This is round 2 or 3. Definitely not round 1. पढ़ेंगे नहीं. Second question. बहुत ही simple. Options are not definite, but it's in range. So definitely not round 3. Either I will solve it right away or I will solve it later on. But इन दोनों में से मैं कुछ भी करके solve करूं, I should be able to solve it without pen. तभी इसको sitter बोलेंगे. So let's read this. P is x% more than Q. Q is x minus 10% less than R. If P is greater than R, what is the range of values x can take? Pen लगाना पड़ेगा. Round 2. Next, 2 lines. Just glance through it, see if you are comfortable with this topic. Krishna borrows 45 from a bank, 10% compound interest. He repays annual installments. Not comfortable. Round 3. एक तो pen, calculative, options देखो, not easy ones. आगे. On a certain sum of money, compound interest earned at the end of 3 years. Again, compound interest, not comfortable. 3. See, I haven't solved a single question. 4 देख चुके. I'm not panicking. I will have enough time. I have to only solve 1 or 2. ये अभी नहीं होगा, लास्ट में होगा. हमें कैसे पता कि पहले क्वेश्चन आसान होते हैं? पहले वाले डिफिकल्ट दिए हुए हैं उन्होंने, लास्ट में आसान दिए हैं कि बच्चा शुरुआत में डिफिकल्ट देख के वो डर जाए, करे ही ना सॉल्व. माइंड गेम्स. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, नॉट वेरी लेंथी, जस्ट ग्लैंस थ्रू इट. percentages 2 to 2 students passed, failed, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. Doable, but again I'll have to use pen. Round 2. Next, huge. Round 3. Round 2 or 3. I will not say round 3 directly. ये जब तक मैं पढ़ूंगा नहीं ना, I will have no idea. Like I said, I'm not going to read. है ना? Huge questions, I'm not going to read and then decide. अपन skip मारेंगे तुरंत. Question number 7. Simple one. 75 questions. If ordered 4, -1, how many different combination? Score of 50. You can see that we have 14, 15, 16. So kind of doable and not doable as well. मतलब worst case में मुझे 16 cases लिखने होंगे. Good case, formula शायद निकल जाए. Not sure, 2 and 3. Definitely not a sitter. We are searching for sitters. How many integer solution exists for the equation such that x and y both are less than 100? This is easy, पर pen लगेगा. Right? So again, 2. Pretty sure it's 2. क्योंकि ये solvable है. Right? It's not time consuming, but we'll have to use pen. Question number 9. What are the number of integral solutions of this equation for x, y greater than 0? And we have got these options. Right? This is a sitter. Pen की जरूरत नहीं है. Now, it is given that x and y are greater than 0. तो इसका एक formula होता है. आपको दिमाग में ये करना है. The formula is, I'm writing it down because this is something you should know. 123 divided by 7 into 3 कर लो आप, which is 123 divided by 21. Yeah, I will not do this by 21. I'll simply say 3 से कट जाएगा. This is going to be 41. This is going to give us 5 point something. Right? Since we have greater than 0, so we are talking about natural number solutions. तो ये जो 5 दिख रहा है ना, इतने natural number solutions होते हैं. Now, where did this come from? ये क्या है? This is something you guys will learn once you do questions on numbers. Very number of integral solutions, whole number solutions, natural number solutions, these all are discussed. ठीक है? So एक sitter मिल गया, हमारा एक question हो गया और ये correct होगा. Question number 10. How many integral solutions are there for the equation a mod of x plus mod of y is equal to 7? Doable, not time consuming, पर pen use करना पड़ेगा. So this is round 2. Next question. How many pairs of positive integers satisfy the equation? This is, if you guys have done numbers, you will realize कि ये doable है. But again, not easy कि बिना pen के कर ले. I mean, some of you may be able to do it, some of you will not. As a student myself, if I consider myself as an average student, I'll be like कि मेरे को pen चाहिए इसके लिए. So I will consider this to be round 2. Next question looks a little lengthy. Options simple है, 3-digit numbers नहीं है. Most probably doable. I'll consider this to be 2. मैं बाद में आके पढ़ूंगा इसे लेकिन. 13. How many integers are divisible by this? So we'll have to use formula or something. और options देखो ये आसान नहीं है. So this is going to be most probably 2 or 3. Right? 14. We see coordinate. Right? एक line का equation. We have got points, vertices. ये सारे terms हैं. If you look at the options, you will be like ठीक है, doable है. But for this, we will need pen. Right? So this is 2. Next question. The number of common terms in the two sequences is options. Doable है, but pen use करना पड़ेगा. So we quickly went through the 15 questions. Was able to solve only one because there was only one question that was a sitter one. बाकी सारे second round या third round वाले. Once I have written all of this, this is something I am able to write it on screen because I have got a pen and I have got a tablet. This is something you guys won't be able to do. Exam में आप ऐसे screen पे तो नहीं लिख रहे. So note down the question numbers which you think is, draw 3 columns. Easy, as in round 1, round 2, round 3. Round 1 वाले तो आप ऐसे ही solve करोगे. Round 2 and round 3 में जो questions उनको लिखते जाओ. After you reach the end of this section, round 2 वाले question numbers, just go to those questions. I believe everybody is aware that on the right hand side you have got a column which tells you which all questions you have attempted, which all questions you have marked for review, which all questions you have skipped, you haven't opted for any option. ये सारा आपको color coding वगैरह I believe आपको पता होगा. तो आप direct जा सकते हो उस question पे. तो there are 15 questions right now in front of you. I'll go back to the first one, starting से. और जहां जहां केवल 2 लिखा था ना, उसको solve करेंगे. Any place where I'm confused, 2 or 3, I will not be doing that. Any place which says 3, definitely I will not be doing that. So question number 1, lengthy, 2 or 3, ignore. नहीं करेंगे इसको अभी भी. Second वाला, हमने 2 mark करा था. From our experience, चलो let's try this. So it is given that P is x% more than Q. So if I take Q as 100, so P को मैं ले लेता हूँ x% more ना, So looking at the options, I will take X as 10%. So this becomes 110. And then it is given that Q is X minus 10% less than R. So R जो है वो हमारा X minus 10% less है. So if I have taken X as 10, so X minus 10 will become 0. So R is also 100. P is greater than R. Yes. So can we say X can take 10%? Okay. ये तो सारे options में है. Now let's choose an option which is not there in others. So I will take X as 40%. ठीक है. अब मैं next वाला try करता हूँ कि if I take R as 100, तो Q is 30%. 40 minus 10, right? X को मैंने 40 लिया. 30% less than Q. 30% कितना हो जाएगा? 70. And then P is 40% more than that. Now 10% is 7, 20% is 14, 40% is 28, ये 98 होगा. Is P greater than R? No. So here I took X as 10, here I took X as 40. So 40 work नहीं कर रहा. 40 work नहीं कर रहा, then 40 is there in option D. I eliminated it. Then looking at the three options, I will prefer 30%. अब X को 30 लेके चलते हैं. So if R is 100, Q is going to be 30 minus 10, 20%. So ये 80 हो जाएगा. If this is 80, then we need 30% more. 10% of 80 is 8. 30% will be 24. 80 plus 24, this will become 104. P is greater than R. Yes. So 30 should be inclusive. 30 is not there in A and B. C option. देखो इसका कोई फॉर्मूला था नहीं. होता होगा. But you don't have to necessarily solve every question using the formula just because you were taught or that's something you read. आप options use करके solve कर सकते हो. So question 2 doable. I used options. ठीक है? The easiest ones. This was 3. Going to ignore it. 4. Going fourth question number. Third level as in third round में करना. Ignore करो. Next. In an exam, 35% of students failed in quants and 42% failed in verbal, while 14% failed in both the topics. If 2 to 2 students passed in both the topics, then how many students appear to write the examination? So, Venn diagram से आप इसको solve कर सकते हो. So, I'll prefer Venn diagram over here. So, we have got this as quants and then we have got this for verbal and this is what we have overall. Since we are dealing with percentages here, I will assume that the total students are 100. Out of those 100, these are failed students. ठीक है? 35% failed in quants. तो कितने पास हुए होंगे? 65. So Venn diagram is about pass. So I am saying 65 students passed in quant. Similarly, 42 out of 100 failed in verbal. 100 में से 42 अगर verbal में fail हुए तो that means remaining 58 passed in verbal. So verbal का 58. Then it says 14% failed in both the topics. So the students who failed in both the topics ये 14 हो जाएगा. Passed in both the topics वो ये बीच वाले होंगे. So let's calculate the middle value. If you guys are aware of the shortcut, out of 100, 14 is outside. So these values within the circle should be the remaining 86. Right now, if you add 65 and 58, they both will add up to give you 123. Right? 123 है इन तीनों का sum, but this is 86. So that means the extra 37 goes here. This is going to be 37. Now, the moment I have this as 37 and it says 2 to 2 students passed, and as per our assumption, 37 students passed, so we will see the multiplier. By 37 into 3 तो 111 होता है. So 37 into 3 into 2, 111 into 2, 2 to 2 हो जाएगा. So can we say 6 times? So the extrapolation, मतलब उसको अगर using ratios, if I have to zoom in, if I have to make it huge, I'll have to multiply everything by 6. Question says how many students appear to write the exam. That means 100 should be multiplied by 6. 600 becomes the answer. So answer B हो जाएगा. You can see that round 2 वाले questions are not something जो ऐसे कर लेंगे. It will take some time. Next question. Now this is something, hold on, I'll have to hide myself because it's taking a lot of space. तो मैं इसको थोड़ा ऊपर कर देता हूँ so that you guys can see the options as well. ठीक है. I hope it is visible now. Okay, now if I have to solve this one, I will have to read. So you should decide. ठीक है, आपको improvise करना है. Right now जो 2 level के थे, they are doable. अभी तक हो रहे हैं. ये 2 और 3 अभी we are not sure because we haven't read the question. Options देखो, there are 2 things. So maybe we can use options. Should we? Should we not? Instantly decide. I'm going to decide. I'm not going to read it. आगे बढ़ जाओ. आपको 1 सेकंड से ज्यादा नहीं लगना चाहिए डिसाइड करने के लिए. This is what the exam is about. You should be very good, very quick with your decisions. Next question. Let me make this also a little closer so that you guys can see the options. Okay. 2 और 3 मैं अभी भी skip कर रहा हूँ. केवल 2 पे जाएंगे. How many integer solutions exist for this for which both x and y are less than 100? ठीक है. तो hold on. Okay. थोड़ा ऊपर करना है. I need space. So if you know how to solve these questions, this is how we will be doing. You need the values of x and y, first set of values जहां पर कि ये equation satisfy हो जाए. Don't worry about the condition. Now please remember that sum or difference of any 2 numbers can be any number. ठीक है, as long as their coefficients are co-prime. 11 and 15 are co-prime, तो आप 11x plus 15y दुनिया का कोई भी नंबर हो सकता है. Okay. Now if I want to do this, I have to make sure that 11 के टेबल का नंबर and 15 के टेबल का नंबर, they should be at a gap of 1. -1, 1 से मतलब नहीं है. So I can make this as 45, I can make this as 44. है ना? 44 and 45 एक के gap पे. Now I'll have to think that 44 plus 45 minus 44 plus 45, 44 minus 45 क्या करे कि -1 है. So definitely we will need to do 44 minus 45. So if 11x is 44, x is 4. And 15y is minus 45, that means y is -3. ये ढूंढना था हमें. Once we get this, the next part is x will change by 15 and y will change by 11. So x जो है वो 15 से change होगा, x will become 19. And y 11 से change होगा, it will become 8. 11 से change होने का मतलब y will increase by 11 and x will increase by 15. Now, if you look at the condition, can we say so far x and y, they both are less than 100? Right? Okay. Another thing is, ये -8 होगा. I'm sorry. So if one is increasing, other is decreasing. So can we say they both are less than 100? So if I keep on increasing x by 15, what will happen? 19 plus 15 will give us 34. Increasing it by 15, it will give me 49. Increasing it by 15 will give me 64. Increasing it by 15 will give me 79. Increasing it by 15 will give me 94. और अगली बार 15 करा तो x will become more than 100. So x की ये values है. Similarly, if I want to count for y, so इधर से आप 11 increase कर लो. Right? Why I need to increase 11 from here is because the other side I was decreasing. So if I want to go back, I need to increase. So -3 plus 11, this will be 8. उसके बाद फिर ये -8 नहीं होना चाहिए था, ये -14 होना चाहिए. But that's not our concern. इधर करेंगे another 11, this will become 19 and this continues. So if I look at the values of y कि वो 8 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11 है, so 11 11 11 88, 88 plus 8 will be 96. So this is the last value of y that we can have. So अगर हमें इसको काउंट करना है तो एक तो तरीका है पूरा लिख लो, right? So in case you guys are not aware, for you I'm helping you out. I'm adding 11 every time now. So this will become 30, adding 11, this will give me 41, adding 11, this will give me 52, adding 11, this will give me 63, 11 add करेंगे 74, 11 add करेंगे 85, 11 add करेंगे 96. Hold on. 19, 30, 41, 88 plus 8, 96. ठीक है. So let's count how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 is our answer. Right? Another is कि x का count कर लो. If I count x, it starts from 4 and there is a jump of 15. तो अब simple बताओ 100 तक 15 के टेबल में कितने numbers आते हैं? 15 into 1, 15, 15 into 6, 90. So there are going to be 6 numbers that you will find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 numbers that you will find. एक number तो ये खुद है. Let's look at y. Y is increasing by 11. So y में 11 के टेबल में कितना हो सकता है? 11 into 1, 11 and 11 into 9, 99. So 9 numbers. But out of which it doesn't start from 11, it rather starts from 8. तो ये हो जाएगा 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 here, 6 here, 9 here और एक इधर. टोटल आपको 16 मिल जाएंगे. तो आपको लिखना नहीं पड़ता in that case, right? Next question. It was a sitter. We have already done this. Next question. How many integer solutions exist? So अगर आप x को 0 कर लोगे तो y की वैल्यू आएगी प्लस माइनस 7. If x is going to be plus minus 1, y is going to be plus minus 6. And this will continue. X is equal to plus minus 6, y is equal to plus minus 1. And if x is equal to plus minus 7, y is going to be, there is no plus minus 0. एक ही 0 होता है दुनिया में. So if you look here, you will have 1, 6, 1, minus 6, minus 1, 6, minus 1, minus 6. 4 बनते हैं हर एक से. So you will have 6 into 4, that is 24 here. You will find 2 here, you will find 2 here. There will be a total of 28 solutions. D. None of these. ठीक है? X 1 से 6, 2, उधर 2. 2 into 2, 4 cases in each. There are 6 cases, 6 into 4, 24 at the center. 2 above, 0, 7 and 0, minus 7 and उसका उल्टा 7, 0 and minus 7, 0. So 4 cases बाहर अलग. 24 plus 4, 28 cases. None of these. Next one. How many pairs of positive integers satisfy this? So you can rewrite this as 105 is equal to n square minus n square, which gives us n minus m into n plus m. Since n and m both are positive integers, तो n जो है वो m से बड़ा होना चाहिए. ये obvious चीज है, नहीं तो negative हो जाएगा. Now 105 is 3 into 5 into 7. So the number of factors of 105 will be 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. 8 factors होंगे. In 8 factors में से where n minus m is supposed to be positive, you will only have half of those. केवल आधे होंगे ऐसे कि बड़े नंबर्स पहले, छोटे नंबर्स बाद में. So C becomes your answer. Question number 12. Let's see. A basket of 2 apples, 4 oranges and 6 mangoes cost the same as a basket of an apple and 4 oranges and 8 mangoes, or a basket of 8 oranges and 7 mangoes. Then the number of mangoes in a basket of mangoes that has the same cost as the other baskets is. So we need to find out how many mangoes we are supposed to have in a particular basket. So for this, what you need to do is compare. अगर आप इन दोनों को देखोगे तो what you will realize is apples increased by 1 and mangoes decreased by 2. So जब जब आप एप्पल में एक इंक्रीज करोगे मैंगोस 2 से कम हो जाएंगे. Vice versa, whenever you are going to decrease the number of apples by 1, number of mangoes will increase by 2. That's the ratio of the change between apples and mangoes. Oranges दोनों में 4 है, उसको ignore. So if I continue like this and if I decrease that apple, so I will have no apple here, I will have 4 oranges, and instead of 8 mangoes I will have 10 mangoes. ये भी वही basket है, right? Now if I look at these two, they both are made up of only oranges and mangoes. If you compare these two, you will realize that if I increase oranges by 4, the number of mangoes will decrease by 3 or vice versa. Oranges को 4 से कम करोगे तो mangoes 3 से बढ़ जाएंगे. If I do that, then if I decrease oranges by 4, mangoes will increase by 3 and I will have 13 mangoes. And all of these are same. So can we say the number of mangoes in this is going to be 13? So option D is the answer. Like we discussed or like how we decided, we assumed कि ये आपका सेकेंड लेवल में डुएबल है, ये डुएबल. 13 नॉट श्योर, लेकिन छोटा है. So just read it. Let's see if you can understand what is happening. How many numbers are divisible by none of 2, 5 and 7? And the number is 120. Now the thing is 120 is not in the table of 2, 5 and 7. So कौन सा number है before 120 or after 120, completely up to you, which is divisible by all three of them. So it turns out to be, this is going to be 105. नहीं, 70 है ना, 140. 2 into 5 into 7 is 70, isn't it? तो 70 के टेबल में 140 आता है. So what I will do is I will solve up to 140 और बाद में फिर उसमें से डिडक्ट कर लेंगे. So how many numbers are divisible by none of 2, 5 and 7? So from here, can we say कि 140 तक, out of every 2 number, 1 number is not divisible by 2. Out of every 5 numbers, 4 numbers are not divisible by 5. And out of every 7 numbers, 6 numbers are not divisible by 7. So इनके साथ जो नहीं होंगे वो ये होंगे. So if you solve this, this is going to give us 2. 24 into 2, 48 such numbers exist. But these numbers exist कहाँ तक? 120 नहीं, 140 तक. So that means 121 onwards up to 140, all those numbers that are divisible by none of them, they are also included. 140 तक तो मुझे 48 ऐसे numbers मिल गए जो कि 2 से भी नहीं होते, 5 से भी नहीं होते, 7 से भी नहीं होते. पर मेरे को 140 तक के मिले, मुझे 120 तक के हट चाहिए. That means all those numbers that follow this particular rule or law are included. So we need to find those individually and get rid of them, because this is much easier than 120 tak ढूंढना. So 121, it's not divisible by 2, 5 and 7. तो एक ये भाई सब मिले. So I will write down those numbers. So 121 is one such number. 122 तो 2 से है, ये तो included था भी नहीं. 123, 124 2 से, 125 5 से, 126. We were at 105, isn't it? So 105, 19, 20. So 126 7 से है. 127, 129, 131, 133 7 से डिविजिबल है. 135 5 से है. 139, 137 भी लिख लेते हैं. 139. So can we say these are 3, 3, 6, 7? These are 7 numbers which are divisible by neither 2 nor 5 nor 7. तीनों में से किसी से divisible नहीं है. अच्छे 7 numbers. These 7 numbers are extra added in this 48. Let's get rid of them. I'll get all those numbers जो 120 तक है. So 41 becomes our answer. Next question. The points 2, 1, -3, -4 are opposite vertices of a parallelogram. If the other two vertices lie on this line, then C is going to be what? So, अभी पढ़ने के बाद realize हो रहा है कि ये sitter है. But for that, you need to understand that if 2, 1 and -3, -4 are the opposite vertices, then the opposite vertices are going to be such that the midpoint of both pairs will be the same. So ये होगा 2 and -3 का average. This is how you calculate midpoint of 2 points. So 2 and -3 का average is going to be -half, and 1 and -4 का average is going to be -3/2. Right? So this is going to be the midpoint of these two as well. And since this is the equation of the line they have given us, that means this point should satisfy this. So x की जगह -1/2 रख लो आप और 9 की जगह -3/2. You will get the value of C. So C turns out to be -27, -28 and ये 14. Right? 27 plus 1, 28, 28/2. C की value 14 आ जाएगी. So this was a sitter. All you had to do was take the average of 2 and -3, average of 1 and -4 and put them respectively in place of x and y to get the value of C from the equation. So ऐसे कभी कभी gamble होता है, backfire करता है कि you assume that it is easy, it turns out it's not. You thought कि अरे यार ये difficult है और जब आप solve करने जाते हो तो पता चलता है यार बहुत आसान था. The number of common terms in this sequence is going to be what? So if you have solved questions like these before, you will find that 15, 19, 23, 27, this is a series up to 415, which is an increase of 4, right? तो अगर सब में मैं 15 माइनस कर लूं तो आपको ये रियलाइज होगा कि ये 0 से शुरू होके 400 तक जाता है. That means there are 101 terms here. If I look at the next series, it starts from 14, 19, 24, 29 and so on, and it goes up to 464. Here the common difference is that of 5. So if I subtract 14 from everywhere, you will find that it starts from 0 and it ends up at 450. और ये 5 का jump है. So you will find that there are a total of 91 terms. Now, between these two, the last term finishes or the last term is smaller in the first series. तो आप second series को भूल जाओ. From the first series, out of 100 terms, out of every 5 terms, 1 term will be common. तो total 20 terms common हो गए. ठीक है? And you will find that the 101st term, which will be like 15, which is not common. The second term is common, right? 19 common है. पहला वाला तो common है नहीं. So 101st term will not be common. So 101 terms को if I break down this as 100 terms plus 1 term, तो इस 100 में 20 terms common हो जाएंगे, right? और वो जो एक term है which is 101st, which won't be common क्योंकि वो पहला वाला term के बराबर हो जाएगा. हाँ, had it been 102 terms, तो second term is going to be the term which is common क्योंकि वो common दिख रहा है हमें इधर. I'm not saying that this is 102nd term. I'm saying the same pattern follows throughout. So we will have 20 common terms, 20 mark या C option. So if you look into what we have solved, you know, level round 1, round 2, round 3 में कितने questions हमने कर लिए? This is one question. Second question, right? Three questions, 4 questions, 5 questions, 6 questions, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we were able to solve 10 out of 15 questions. This is a 99.95 plus percentile for sure. इतना तो आएगा ही आएगा, ये तो मैं लिख के दे रहा हूँ, गारंटी है. You can even have a 99.99 percentile if you are able to 15 में से 10 कर लिया आपने. Of course, you don't have 15 questions, you have 22 questions. So 22 questions में से you will be able to solve around 14-15. The exact number that we discussed initially कि आपका target ये होना चाहिए. Your target is not to attempt all 22 questions. It's impossible. If you attempt all 22, आपको minus में number आने लगेंगे. Because you are going to be in so much hurry, you'll make hundreds of mistakes. Simple questions भी नहीं होंगे. Now, once you have gone through round 1 and round 2, then you will go again and see कि कौन सा अब हमारे level का है, हमारे level का. Things that we can solve. You should know your shortcomings, you should know your strengths, you should know your weaknesses. Right? फिर आप बाकी सबको करोगे. So I'm not going to solve the questions. Solving question was not the priority. The priority was to tell you how to strategize. कैसे आप quant में attempts बढ़ा सकते हो, you can increase the score, and how you should actually attempt mocks as well. Right? I'll just go through the chat. Let's see if anyone has any doubt. Okay, nobody has any doubt. So, well, everyone, please meet our CAT 2022 toppers. Very soon we will be showcasing our CAT 2023 toppers also, which are going to be way more than what we had in the results last year. Anyone can download our BYJU'S exam prep for MBA app from Google Play Store, and the link to that is given in the description. You can download it and you can access our app for 3 full days. Okay, all you have to do is put in a contact number and start your free trial. You can also get our CAT 2023 and other MBA entrance test series. This includes more than 80 mocks, 10,000 practice questions, 3 all India open mock tests with video solutions. So make sure that you enroll for that. We have launched our CAT 2023 crash course. These are more than 20 power packed live sessions where we discuss the most probable questions. Okay, it's starting from 23rd October at 7 p.m. So everyone, please make sure that you attend those. All India open mock CAT, the last one is right now going on. It will end in the next 2 days. So everyone, please make sure that you attempt this. It will help you identify your dissect strategy. You will get to your strengths and weaknesses, and it will also help you understand where you stand pan-India. You can avail up to 90% scholarship on our CAT preparation programs. The scholarship test is due for 4th of November at 11 a.m. Make sure that you register for this. Registration link is given in the description below. Please do not forget to check out our social media handles and pages. Until then, everyone, please take care. I'll see you again very soon with another session related to CAT preparation or any other MBA exam preparation.